Hi. I mean, I was saying it often comes up in family debates, even in my own house. My son said to me, you know, your generation drink more alcohol than ours. Cannabis is safe. What do you say to them?
Oh, well, I mean, what you said at the beginning is absolutely correct. You know, I mean, it is, you can demonstrate that alcohol is a much more dangerous substance than cannabis. The problem really we have at the moment is that for children, I mean, which is where the most vulnerability is, it's actually easier for them to get hold of cannabis than it is for them to get hold of alcohol. And that's because the government has taken responsibility for alcohol and regulated it and made sure it's only sold through licensed outlets where age limits are enforced. And if we want to protect our children, that's what we need to do with cannabis. Cannabis is not going away. Cannabis consumption is going up, not just in this country, but all over the world. And different policies are much more successful at minimising the harm of cannabis than the policy we have in the UK. The policy we have in the UK is backwards, and it's going further backwards. It's alarming the way that the present Conservative government is doubling down on sort of authoritarian prohibition, which has been proven not to work. If you look at what's happening in the States at the moment, Nora Volkow, who is the director of NIDA, National Institute of Drug Abuse, has said she has never seen such a dramatic fall in the number of children or underage people using cannabis. And that's because many of the states have legalized and regulated. It's being brought under control.
Forgive me for interrupting, but is that a valid point? I mean, there's so much concern about psychosis caused by a lot of this skunk cannabis that's about the really strong stuff. I mean, if it was regulated in this country, how do we know it would take the skunk off the market?
Well, I don't think it would take the skunk off the market. And if you try to take anything off the market, what you do is you drive it underground. But I mean, you know, this is a very complex issue. And the research which you're referring to from Robin Murray and Marta DeForti is far from settled. I mean, it's very controversial. If you go to the Lancet, where their research has been published, you will find that for every study they publish, there are 7 or 8 other studies which debunks their methods. But I mean, that's not to say that, you know, we shouldn't be doing all we can to protect children. And the problem is that our present drugs policy abandons control of the drugs market to gangsters. You were talking about gang crime just now. And really, we're allowing the gangsters to run this market. And the more if we say this substance is dangerous, and it can be dangerous for a few young people, if we say it's dangerous, then the last thing we want is gangsters running the market. And yes, that's what we're allowing to happen when we can see in other jurisdictions that bringing the market under control, legalizing and regulating is much more effective. That's why Canada has legalized. That's exactly why Justin Trudeau said they wanted to legalize in Canada. It's been a great success. And it's been a great success in the States. And of course, Germany has reached the same conclusion and is about to legalise probably in the coming 12 months.
Do you think our government will ever have I was going to use the word courage, but will ever have the decision-making powers to actually do something similar to they have done in certain states in America and Canada?
Oh, well, I think courage is the right word. And I think they will be forced into it kicking and screaming, because the more you crack down on something like this, the more difficult you try and make it for the market to operate, the more the price will go up, the more the gangsters will be interested in it, the more street dealers they'll push out there, and the worse the whole situation will get. Prohibition doesn't work. It fundamentally doesn't work, because what you're doing is you're fighting against the communities you're supposed to be protecting.